about to head out into the middle of Port Phillip Bay. I won't exactly be up the creek without a paddle, but the navigator is blind.
Well, not blind exactly, but he's going to sail blind to test a new navigation system that should be able to guide a ship even if it's dark and foggy outside. Blacking out the windows is Ravi Nija of the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology.
It's an all-weather system, and the only true critical test for this is whether we can navigate with the windows blacked or not.
And so we're off, with only the Port of Melbourne Authority's 600 horsepower survey vessel Viking between us and the inky depths. In on the plot with Ravi is marine computer specialist Anthony Woodward and skipper Bob Haseman.
What they're planning to do is to pilot this boat from out here in the shipping channel of Port Phillip Bay up into the Port of Melbourne and on up the River Yarra. Sounds straightforward enough, but the real challenge is that they're going to attempt to do this on instruments only, in much the same way that a pilot lands a 747.
Until very recently, such a stunt wouldn't have been possible, because mariners need to be able to get a fix on a recognisable landmark or the sun and stars. The technology that's made all the difference is known as GPS.
This is the onboard receiver for the GPS, or Global Positioning System. Using an antenna at the top of the mast, it draws information from the nearest group of 20 or so orbiting American satellites. It then converts that information into latitude and longitude of the vessel, correct to the nearest 4 decimal places. Until recently, there's been a problem using GPS to work out precisely where you are. It's only accurate to about 100 metres or so, which is fine out here in the middle of the bay, but that's not much good if you're trying to berth a ship. The crazy thing is that when the system was first designed, it was much more precise.
As originally conceived by the American military, the satellite system could tell the Marines where they were to the nearest 2 metres. When everyone else discovered they could tune in too, Uncle Sam peevishly blurred the signal. In technical language, they dithered its accuracy to the current 100 metres. But with a cunning bit of electronic wizardry, the rest of the world has outmanoeuvred that dithering, and Ravi has been quick to set up Australia's own version. The key to the system is Cape Shanks Lighthouse, just outside Port Phillip Bay. Inside is the electronics for the differential global positioning system. The lighthouse gets a fix on the GPS satellite, complete with dither. But since it already knows its position from the map, it's able to compute, in effect, the amount of the dither. Meanwhile, out at sea, position unknown, we take our own GPS reading and it's dithered too. But a radio signal from the lighthouse with the correcting factor shows us where we really are. When coupled with computerised navigation charts, an Australian innovation featured on Quantum last year, we can now see exactly where we are. The little circle with the pointer is us, some 10 kilometres out into the bay and ready to start the actual trial.
Okay, let's go. Oh, ready to go. Let's go. Okay.
Now the navigation system is our only guide.
So, where are we now?
We've just passed Fawkner Beacon and we're going up the channel here.
Ah, right. So according to that, we're heading in the right direction?
Exactly.
The beacon slips by on our starboard, but it isn't actually in the right position on our charts. It was rammed by a ship one foggy night and its replacement has yet to be logged on the charts. No wonder the seals look nervous. It's okay, we're on GPS.
Bob, as the skipper, how do you actually use this new equipment?
Well, as you can see, we're all blanked out. I can't see through there, so I can see exactly where I am.
Yep.
In conjunction with the compass and with the information I'm getting from the screen, I can steer straight up wherever I want to go. I could get into any port in the world.
We did actually leave a side window clear for safety's sake, because what the equipment doesn't show as yet are other vessels in the vicinity. Just as well, because we're getting into busier waters.
So
So if you look out visually, you should very soon see number 22 beacon.
Well, it's not that I don't believe you, but I'm going to go and have a look for myself.
All right.
Yep, they're right.
The positioning is uncannily precise, with the occasional idiosyncrasy. The Westgate Bridge, it's such a massive structure that it successfully blocks out our satellite reception for a few seconds, throwing the computer into a mini dither of its own, but not for long.
Well, as predicted, there goes the Westgate Bridge and we're heading on up the Yarra. And in about 150 metres or so, we're going to berth.
Now, as the Viking heads for its dockside rendezvous, the electronic navigator faces its toughest challenge. Will it be accurate enough to guide them safely to a specific berth, or will the intrepid crew end up in the briny with wet socks?
We'll pick up the leading lights of Swanston Dock and berth at number 4 east. Bit more to port. Steady as she goes.
This is not a trivial test. When visibility is bad, ships are presently unable to see their way into some ports. The delays can cost millions of dollars. But for now, it's over to you, Bob.
I was trying to do it all purely off the screen and just about got alongside without looking. That was close. It was. I can't do everything.
So that was a fairly crude but effective demonstration of what differential GPS can do. Probably in the very near future, even big ships will be just as capable of navigating blind as we did, with the help of a whole network of lighthouse stations around Australia. It's going to revolutionise navigation.